Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Put down below in the comment section what your favorite coin is. No, scratch that. Let me ask you differently. Is XRP your favorite crypto? Yes or no? Put that down below in the comment section, and if it is or if it isn't, you can also put down below why, and we might see some crazy discussions down below in the comment section of haters and supporters. I always think it is fun, so go check that out. And by the way, if you're seeing me comment something saying you should text a number or something like that, that ain't me, all right? Be careful with those. Tether and Bitfinex have reached a settlement with New York State AG after 2.5 years and 2.5 million pages of info shared. We admit to no wrongdoing and will pay an $18.5 million fine to resolve this matter. No finding that Tether ever issued without backing or to impact crypto prices. This settlement shows our commitment to the future of the industry and to transparency with quarterly disclosures of Tether reserves going forward. We are pleased to put this behind us. Full statement down below. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Tether is one of the most stupid things that anybody could ever want to support. There's no reason why this is good, no reason why we should be happy about this, except for the freaking fact that if this pulled through, crypto would have dumped even more. And XRP, Bitcoin, whatever coin you want to pick right there, already dumped like crazy. So another big lawsuit, or at least a very negative verdict on Tether, would only ignite more fuel for the negative downturn, or for the negative movement, basically. It would have only been bad. So from that perspective, yes, I think it is very nice they got a positive result. In the end, though, Tether is dumb, and we definitely shouldn't support it because this is basically free money from them. If you don't think it is, you're most likely wrong. Then 3 critical questions that will hopefully be answered by the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple. 1. When does a digital asset transition from a security to a currency or something else? 2. How will President Biden's administration approach digital assets? And 3. How should disgorgement be calculated for a violation of Section 5 and only Section 5 after the Supreme Court's decision last year in Liu? So we'll get a little bit further into this in just a second, but point number 2 is something that really sparked my interest because of what Anthony Pompliano said, as he said, eventually, a Bitcoiner is going to be president. And even though that might sound a little bit vague, he has a very good point. So I'm not saying, being a Bitcoiner and a president, that thing is going to be really bullish for the crypto that we love necessarily, but in a different sense, it logically is, right? I'm not saying it's just a guaranteed thing, but it could be. I mean, you could have, for example, that Obama was a huge Bitcoin fan. It doesn't actually mean he'll ever come out from it, right? Or actually do anything along those lines. It's just a possibility. Somebody's real nature and what he does as a president, they might really completely contradict. So that's not something we should really, hold dearly. However, what we should hold dearly, in my opinion, is the fact that he has a point that eventually things will change, and we're just at the start. As I believe, as of this point, all presidents over there are definitely also quite old, so the chance of them really liking crypto is a lot smaller. But at one point or another, for example, if a guy like Kanye, which again was a very small chance, I'm not saying was actually a possibility, but what if a guy like Kanye were to become president, you definitely get a huge shift in what the youth would be shown. Are you guys getting that a little bit? Where if the president does change a lot, and this actually goes for almost any country, if your leaders or the people leading it basically are all very bullish towards crypto, or at least a good part of them, there's a higher chance that eventually you get something in there regarding crypto, or get some positive statements, which will inspire a whole nation possibly. Not necessarily that they have a lot of influence in terms of that they can make new rules, but at least influence in terms of that they think about it that way and people look up to them. Hopefully you guys got that. Let's go a little bit further into these things though, and let me quickly read it. First of all, the whole lawsuit here, in our opinion, the most important part that we have to get from this is actually Ripple getting the clarity for XRP, and hopefully every lawsuit from here on forward by the SEC regarding crypto to be dealt with in an easier and less disruptive manner. Now, when does a digital asset transition from a security to a currency or something else? At one end of the spectrum, the SEC has made it clear that it views almost any ICO to involve the offer of securities. At the other end, there is Ether, which today relies on distributed ledger without a centralized administrator. In 2018, the director of the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance, William Hinman, stated publicly that, quote, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network and its decentralized structure, current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions, end quote. XRP probably falls somewhere in between those two extremes. Because of that, the case may represent a unique opportunity for the SEC or court to shed further light on how and where to draw the line between a security and a currency, which once more will be a very disruptive decision. How will President Biden approach digital currencies or assets? Under Chairman Clayton's leadership, the SEC took a deliberate approach towards digital assets and, as reflected by the Ripple case, was not hesitant to bring enforcement actions in this space. President Biden was nominated Gary Gensler to be the next SEC chair, which, by the way, is going to be coming in March already, at least the first, I don't know what the word for it is. In March, we'll see more about that. For the past few years, Mr. Gensler has been a professor at MIT teaching courses on blockchain and crypto assets. He will almost certainly have strong views on how the SEC should approach digital assets, and as the litigation processes, we may gain some insight into those views. And another important part there is that even though XRP dumped and stuff like that, and people are generally negative, it doesn't actually mean that people are long-term negative or have all of a sudden lost faith or are all of a sudden out of there or all of a sudden really going to change their mind, nothing like that. That's all those extremes which people think like, oh, right now it means that, that something big is going to happen in a negative sense. No. Think about it this way, right? Gary Gensler, for example, has been positive for a long time on cryptocurrencies, has been positive on XRP for a little while, and I don't think he really updates himself with the day-to-day price. So think about it from your perspective now. There's a ton of people who are like, oh, I should really sell right now. People are getting fuddy and, oh, it started, the downfall started, yada, yada, yada. Gary Gensler has been giving courses on blockchain and crypto assets mostly because he knows there's longevity in it, right? Let's say, for example, XRP as well. He's, by the way, talked about XRP as well in a positive sense before, which we all understand because how could he not? If you're talking about crypto, it's the top 2, top 3 coin, now top 6, but still, you guys get the idea. You can't really deny it. And a short-term price thing isn't really going to matter for all these people to educate others on it. It's just something that people have in the back of their head that all of a sudden people are going to be thinking different towards it or are more negative or bearish on, crypto's progress as the prices go down. It's not necessarily true because I think we all kind of see through the charade, except for people that have really weak hands. And then how should disgorgement be calculated for this whole section? In the Ripple case, the SEC has alleged that the company raised over $1.3 billion from sales of XRP, and the two individual defendants sold approximately $600 million of XRP. In the past, the SEC has often argued that all proceeds of an offering made in violation of Section 5 were subject to disgorgement as ill-gotten gains. In lieu, however, the Supreme Court explained that the courts should deduct legitimate expenses when calculating disgorgement. The Ripple case could provide the SEC or the court the opportunity to explain how to calculate legitimate expenses, particularly in this case when there are no allegations that the company or executives engaged in fraud, and it looks like the company will be able to show substantial expenses from operating its business, and the executives will be able to show that they provided legitimate employment services to Ripple, which is something I really question because that would mean that Brett Garlinghouse and Chris Larson sold XRP because they are working with Ripple and those expenses are all, I guess logical. I don't think that will actually work out too well. I don't think that's really something I would stand behind. But in the end, we'll just see. We have to wait. The video is actually more so to be about the whole dump and why XRP went from 50 cents below it and why we could go towards 34 or something like that. But the video is also only going to be recorded published in like 4 hours or so from now, because I have some editing to do, and the previous video I have actually not published just quite yet, but since this one is a different topic, I thought, let me quickly make a different one, because you guys said please do 15-minute videos, 10 to 15, instead of one 40-minute one, so I decided to split them up sometimes, but that is that. The price has gone below 50 cents, right? I actually don't have I do have TradingView open right now. We can actually check it out here. Hopefully XRP is actually still in there. I hope it is, guys. I hope my chart is still intact. I'm not sure if it is. Let's hope quickly. Oh, yeah, there we go. XRP is still intact. So what happened right here, obviously, is we actually fell below. And again, I didn't draw this today, right? This is not something I made today. We made these red lines, I believe yesterday somewhere during the live stream is when we did that. But the Fibonacci has been here for the longest amount of time, right? It's been there for a very good while now, very good while. And you're seeing how perfectly it is bouncing off these levels. And I find that fascinating to a certain degree. However, What basically happened just now, what it showed, was that we did have a pretty good support at this area, which I predicted luckily, right? And that's also why my short was so perfect and why people will hate me for it, but it was so perfect. But that support was actually valid, yet not even the support we were mostly looking for. The biggest support that I was kind of looking for was actually here towards 44 cents or so, since I did think that we could actually build from here on forward, yet it's going to depend on the next couple of days to see whether or not we can actually really go towards 36 cents, 34 cents, and actually stay below there. I'm personally saying 36 cents is a little bit more important than 34, but some people have differing opinions on that. In my opinion, 36 cents is the one to go for. As we said before, it's first of all 17 cents, then this little area over here, which you fell down to, which is about 36 cents, and right now for a little time it was about 50 cents. 50 cents we broke, so logically we went down to 36 held, and so right now is the question, will we kind of recover at about the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level from our kind of bullish run right there? Or let me actually quickly zoom in here. Or will we actually just continue on with this kind of newer downtrend that has been made and actually fall back down, maybe possibly all the way towards the 24 cent or so support, possibly even 17 that we saw, which was just happening after the lawsuit. I'm going to say that 36 cents should be a very, very strong support, very, very strong, very solid, as this is basically what happened after one of the biggest dumps in XRP history, the biggest amount of volume, I believe, ever in terms of sale pressure. So yeah, if it didn't fall back then, it probably shouldn't do that now, right? Logically speaking. In a different sense though, if crypto is going to really push through towards the downside like it did the last couple of days, yeah, then of course there's no saving XRP. It's going to be all man for himself or herself, and we might see a little bit more shocking stuff. But right now, it's a pretty beautiful bounce, pretty interesting, pretty clear, and that probably will not last for too long. But XRP, oh my days, guys, is this looking beautiful at this point. And again, be careful, because even though 36 cents is a very strong support, we can't breach it because of the extra Bitcoin stuff that's happening right now. And, well, we hit it once. There's nothing that's really keeping it from hitting it twice now. Right now, it looks again like we've built upon 44 cents, but that's not too true. Unless we get back into the zone, I'm going to say that this was just an outlier, and we've actually still traded within our newest area. That's going to depend mostly on Bitcoin, though. For right now, expect the worst, but let's hope for the best, right? Let's put it that way. Also, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 100K subs before June. Why? Well, actually, it doesn't really matter how many subs we have. You know, to a certain degree, it really doesn't matter for anything. I'm just thinking maybe at 100K, we can actually file for that little check mark behind the name, and that will help a ton with combating all this spam and all these scammers in the comment section. That's actually the only benefit, because in the end, the subscriber count, in my opinion, doesn't matter for anything. I just think it might be cool on that department. Crazy day for crypto, as over 642K traders liquidated for nearly $5.5 billion. Damn, huh? I think it's the most amount ever on almost every single place. It's been ridiculously crazy, but yeah, it's logically what is happening when crypto prices go this ridiculous. In the end, some people made a lot of money, some people lost a lot of money, and it keeps you real. I put that over on Twitter as well. And let's go over this in just a second. I put that over on Twitter as well, that this type of stuff, the whole trading, and even if you are making losses right now, it keeps you on your edge. It keeps you real. I put a lot of tweets out here that are not only for me, but also just to share a little bit of the story of things that I've learned over the years. A bad trade is nothing more than a lesson. I'm very grateful for every loss I make, as it keeps me real, burns away any arrogance, and brings to life more empathy towards others. It's so important to understand that you're not, amazing for making one right trade, and you're not like a freaking trading genius. In my opinion, it's always because these guys let you win to some degree, or you're just really good at betting against what is meant to happen for you. But that doesn't mean things can't go wrong, and that doesn't mean a ton of others aren't losing money. So if you think everything is always going to be right, always be real with yourself that things may switch in just a matter of seconds. And you'll notice that if you ever make a very big loss that wasn't really planned, it's like, oh, damn. It keeps you real. Also, it stays away from the arrogance of you thinking, again, you're better than others or something like that. You're like, no, I'm just a normal person like that. Empathy, because a lot of people lose money. And again, I think it's an important thing to understand. The psychology behind trading is always very important. Then on the Ethereum front, a lot of people have been going crazy about the fees still. It's really getting out of hand. Even though prices are going down, the fees are still ridiculous. After paying all these gas fees, Ethereum logo makes sense to me. Yeah, I really like that one. I'm going to even give it a like right there, because that was pretty damn funny. See if we did have anything else to say right here. BTC, Ethereum, and XRP price analysis, I really don't care what these guys predict, because usually they are wrong. You'll notice that if you ever take a look at this section right here, A couple of minutes ago, people said buy. I think if you go to Bitcoin, people are still saying buy right now. Yeah, people are still saying buy. Even though it's logical that you should buy because we've dipped this much, we literally could correct so far, and all these people told you, yeah, go buy it. And all of a sudden, you're down 50% of your money in the next couple of days. It could really be because these guys don't know, they don't care about you. It is either about making money from this scheme that they're running on here or something along those lines, or maybe they're just experimenting with this analysis because think about it. Why would they share this if they have nothing to gain on it? Most of these guys sell you a service at the bottom, which they're trying to be good to predict right now, I guess, over on here. But if they have 4 predictions, one of them is bound to be right, and you can just delete the others. Again, that's what a lot of these guys do. Think about that, all right? Think about it for a little second. And then once more, guys, hopefully we'll build on top of this. Hopefully this bounce is enough to actually continue on with our bullish road. It is a beautiful one, though. It is honestly really beautiful how this is looking like. You know, perfect hits, perfect. You don't see that every single day. I'm not going to say this is all the prediction because I didn't actually expect it to bounce all the way towards there. I actually thought we would actually bounce back from about 44 cents already. But again, we fell back through. However, perfect hit. Now back up even above 44 cents. Hopefully getting back into the zone really shortly here. But we could also bounce back from the 0.5 Fibonacci or the little red lines. Basically the same thing. And then bounce back towards the downside. We'll see though. Yeah, we just talked about this one. Go subscribe. I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, guys. Take care. Have a very nice day. Have an enjoyable day. Have a wonderful day. Have a beautiful day. Because, yeah, you deserve it.